Welcome back to the Curse of Strahd, everyone. Coming back from a little bit of a break we've had. And last session we had to end it a little bit abruptly, but we learned some things about some friends of ours, didn't we? The party had discovered through Fisk's instincts, followed by the parties. I think Darmagen, fairly safe to say, suspected for a while, that Vasily and Cecil were in fact Strahd and Rahadin in disguise. Strahd admitted to this being a measure of some amusement as well as a desire to attack the party a little bit, and that he had his own reasons in general. For the most part, he departed peacefully. At the moment, I believe the party has decided to continue on the path towards Krezek. You guys weren't wanting to go back to Vallaki to check up on anybody, right?
Yeah, we're hoping to get a drink.
All right. I believe it is fairly early in the morning. Well, probably like around 10 or so. You guys had your little breakfast. And with that, is there any preparations or anything you want to do before you guys officially depart on the
What's the weather like?
The weather is actually fairly pleasant right now. You can see to about 300, 500 feet ahead. As always, the mist is always crawling. What's that noise?
That was me. I was like, "Whoa, pristine weather, yo!"
Well, like it's not like it's never been that way. It's just like on the clear side.
Yeah, I'm just making a joke of it's always
But
cloudy in Barovia.
Is there snow on the ground? Is it melted or?
It doesn't seem to be that there is a little bit of snow on the ground, mostly at like the edges of the forest and trees. But it seems that for the most part, this place is clear of snow. However, as you're indeed looking at the snow on the edges, you see that there's quite a lot of footsteps. You from your various interactions, you recognize immediately these are like various types of werewolves and wolves that may have been nearby to watch.
So guys, do we want to use this this new saddle we got? Do any of the horses look better than the others? Like, was there one that's more friendly or one that just looked cooler?
I'm trying to remember because I know a bunch of your horses died like here and there, so I don't remember which horses are alive anymore.
Mine's still alive.
Mine is.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say
Ergel and Varys lost their original horses.
That's true. So I'd say that Barovian horses are actually very handsome specimens. They're bred for stamina and size more than anything. Like to get through the harshness of Barovia and the weather and all that. One of them is black and the other one is black with like a white patch on its nose. They both look like equally valid things. You could roll me an animal handling towards each one and see how they treat you.
Yeah, sure. Let's see here.
Can I try and help him?
And how are you helping him? Just tell me.
No, just helping him look at the horses and see what looks best.
Sure, give me a nature check. We'll see how good you are at appraising horses.
Yeah. They have legs.
You remember something about, like the condition of the teeth? Darmagen, do you want to check their teeth?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Give me an animal. You know what? What is your passive animal handling? I'll just go and check. We'll see. Looking at them. It's funny because I organize like the tokens and the sheets, but now like when you get so used to a mess, you're like, how can I find anything?
Oh.
So I was like, Tom just token, where did it go? Alrighty. So, Darmington, I would say that for the most part, because these horses are familiar with you, you're able to approach them and check their teeth. One of them, the black one, pretty good condition. However, the other one seems to be a little bit more anxious. You think that one might be a male, and the other one is female. Go ahead and give me an animal handling for that one. 15, yeah. You hush the horse, you calm it down, check the teeth. This one has like his wolf teeth coming in, and like they're kind of puncturing his cheeks a little bit, so there's a little bit of rot in the gums.
Like, well, this one's young, but he's got his wolf teeth. If you get them filed down, he'll be a little better behaved. But you sure you want to do this now?
It only takes 10 minutes. I mean, it's up to you guys. We can ride like peasants and...
We'll make an impression.
I was gonna say, we gotta save it. We could save it for a really, really big horse.
I mean, if I remember right, it just said mount. It didn't say horse.
Oh, wait,
Oh.
really?
You're right. Oh, no. I go, my friend Archie, there is much to see in Markovia.
We put a thing on.
I would wait on that. We might find
Okay.
something special.
Oh,
Fair enough.
man. No, I've always wanted to ride a manticore. Could we save it for something like that?
Well,
No.
I'll hand off this saddle that's probably as big as me. Like, so somebody else want to carry this thing?
Damn.
I can take it.
Dan's like, fuck.
So there's a little backstory in the whole riding a manticore comment.
Oh, there's more than one backstory to that.
I'm not changing it. I'm taking responsibility for my mistake. The word is mount.
Woo!
He's like, wait, no, really? Is that what it said?
Tarmington excitedly puts it into the bag of holding.
Alrighty. So no horses are chosen today. Pulling out your map, you guys can see there's still quite a ways to Krezek. About 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8, between 8 and 10 hours of travel, depending on like the road and the weather
Should we
conditions.
go fast pace?
Uh,
Well, actually, apologies, that because you all have horses, that time is halved, so that would be like 4 to 5 hours instead.
let's ride. Heaven forbid something delay us on the way, like it always does. Pack up and mount up.
Alrighty, guys, pack up and mount up. And if does anybody have anything else they want to do before we leave the tower? No? Yes.
Nothing.
Right. Party departs, riding your horses into the woods. There seems to be a more quiet kind of day.
Fisk is keeping his eyes peeled, though. He's ahead of the party. 20 feet, 30 feet or so.
I'm going to take up the back end. I'll trail everybody by about 20 or 30 feet.
DM, just so you know, I passed around a potion of, what was it, greater healing
Mm-hmm.
to everyone.
Oh, yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so did everybody
Oh, I
I
did.
think so. We made a point of it at the end.
Another
Yeah.
thing to declare: am I holding on to Butcher, or is that going into like the bag? It was
Into what? Well, the-
Butchery. Butchery.
Butchery.
I gave you
sword.
butchery. I handed
Okay,
it
just
to
want,
you.
I just wanted to
Yeah,
double
no.
check that because
I wanted you to hold butchery. It's like, yeah, you should be carrying this.
yeah, and nothing else.
Alrighty. As you guys travel on your horses for about a couple of hours, guys hear what sounds like. You guys can tell that you're approaching the river due to the sounds of the rushing of the river. about like 10 or 15 minutes away from it. I'd like everybody to give me intelligence checks. You feel something pricking in the back of your minds.
Only have used to saves. So curse you.
Nice. Honor him. Wow.
Are these saves or checks?
Checks.
Okay. There's no proficiency shit.
For me, it's the same.
I don't know if it's the same.
Checks are specifically without proficiency bonus, even if you are proficient in the save.
Sure. Yeah. Check and the save are two different things.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
It's kind of a
All right.
catch-all be-all for like any checks
Gotcha.
you want to make that don't use any of the skills you have or some weird shit.
Wow,
If that's the
these
case, I got an
I-
18.
These are really fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well,
You still add your intelligence, just not your proficiency.
So everyone aside from Vasila
Damn
and
it.
Archie,
Hey,
yeah.
nice. High five.
you realize that some of that where you think is a copse of trees seems to be a like you guys kind of see like this shimmering haze in the air, like around the copse, like around this around the trees, like on your, I guess, the right side of where the party is, compared to the village.
I'll look at the party and see who appears to have noticed this besides me. And I'm like, psst, and I kind of point over that way.
Disc is perked up and is looking directly in that area and is staring at it with his ears pointed at it ahead of
No.
everybody.
How far away are we from this?
It's like because because of the thinness of the trail, it's actually very quite close to you. Maybe like 10, 20 steps away from like the side of the road, like where the trees are. It's like this shimmering in the air, basically. Like about 10 feet tall and shaped like in an angle towards you. If you guys can see.
Not loudly, but very sharply. I go, psst, new kids. Shit's afoot.
Oh shit! All right.
I'll put my loot away.
Do I smell? Do I smell anything?
Give me a perception check as you take a sniff of the air.
You guys all have a javelin out at the moment.
No, nothing. In fact, what I'm going to do is, Honoring, why don't you go ahead and give me an Arcana check? I'd say you had enough time by now to look at this thing. And same to you, Archie.
Arcana, okay. Yeah, I'll pull out one of my scimitars. And Arcana.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm a halfling though. I get to re-roll that.
Hey!
And I use mage armor for
Hey, there it is.
There we go.
Yeah, halflings.
Nice, nice.
And I have my
Okay.
divine sense up.
What's that, sorry?
Divine,
divine
sense as well.
No, unfortunately it does not.
Okay.
God. So I'll try to bitch as little as possible about my team. What was I saying? Right. So Archie and yeah, you're not quite sure what this is. I don't think you maybe you didn't encounter this exact manifestation of this before, but Archie, you would think to yourself this might be one of those spells where you summon some kind of house and basically just kind of make it blend in with the surroundings.
Yeah, I'll communicate that to the party. This looks like some kind of illusion magic that's hiding something probably as big as a house, judging by the edges of it.
Not like a big house, like a smaller hut. Something the size of a
Cottage.
hut.
So that's an odd thing to find on the side of a road in Markovia. Don't you gentlemen agree?
I don't know.
I tell Parvis to fly towards the shimmer while I focus on him.
All right. Parvis, go ahead and give me an intelligence check for Parvis and see if he can detect it. Priscilla and who else felt Archie, like you guys are. Well, Archie, like you.
Now, if
Actually, shit, Archie, you wouldn't really be seeing this, but I'd say based on the other's description, you kind of guess what it is.
How far away are we from it?
Like 10 steps.
Parvis is a bat right now. There are things that he has advantage on detecting, but I don't know what the bat stats are, so you may have to look that up for me.
Give me 1 second.
There's some
I think
specific
that's like
stuff.
echolocation, maybe like a true sight.
Yeah,
thing.
because it's like a true sight thing, but it's based on sound.
Well, all that echolocation actually says is that it can't use its blind sight while it's deafened.
So it does have blind sight.
It does
down
have blind
further
sight,
up
so it is aware that there is a structure about. Allow me to expose myself once again as having grown up in the Middle East, so I don't really know how big
No,
feet
that's
are.
fine.
About we'll call it about 10 feet by 20 feet structure. That's
right,
about 10 feet tall.
So like that. And if you're more comfortable using metric, I'm okay with that if that's what you want to use.
The thing is,
Yeah, I get you more like a hut or a shack, like we're talking like a single room, like
yeah, it's like a
right?
it's like a
Yeah, a
single
small
it's like
hut.
a single hut. Yeah, it's like a single
Okay,
room
all right.
hut. Oh, okay.
I sit there and I use prestidigitation to make a tiny little shimmering shape of that Parvis saw for me.
Yeah, you guys can
and I
see
go-
like this rotating square, not square. What's the word I'm looking for? Rectangle in the air.
I kind of say, that's what's inside. Like, I'm telling Parvis to fly back to me.
Buzz back to you.
Woohoo! I'm kind of looking, what do we want to do?
I'm gonna cast that real quick and see if there's any unseen thinking creatures, since there's illusion around.
It says any creature that you can see. So looking at, you're looking at the party, and who?
Now you can also use this spell to detect the presence of a thinking creature that you can't see.
Oh, where is that? The bottom.
Pretty far down. Here,
I've
let
been
me
eyeballing that
copy-paste.
Well, you have that spell, Chris. That's. I'm pretty sure you can cast it with your helmet there. Cast the spell.
Let's
Sure.
see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you can. It says you can search. So I'm going to say that's going to require some kind of check. Let's call it an charisma. Like you're a charisma caster. So go ahead and give me a charisma spellcaster check, please.
Just charisma check. Okay.
You try to focus on your spell and to detect any thinking creature nearby. However, aside from your party, actually, funnily enough, you detect your party. Like you look at the party, Visela, Fisk, and then you're also detecting that Fisk's spear is thinking as well.
Oh, okay.
And as you look and focus, Fisk is mumbling to himself.
Yeah.
Okay, Varys is going to cast See Invisibility.
All right, you cast See
Good.
Invisibility, and you can clearly see a beautiful, comfortable-looking little hut. It is. It seems to have been enchanted with invisibility by whoever's inside, and it has a little window through which you can look. Inside it, you can see a fairly bare interior. There's a chest, there's a table with some books on it and some lighting implements in as well. And against the floor, there's a coffin. A beautiful coffin. And you can see the door. The door is facing towards the body.
And it's closed.
It is closed.
That's not ominous at all.
Do you think we should knock?
Do we bite?
I'm assuming this information is related to the party, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay. And you see her swap out the javelin for the silver longsword. All right. Visible house, off inside, not far off the beaten path at all. I mean, jeez.
I
You have
cast
to be careful.
detect magic as a ritual.
Right, you cast detect magic. First of all, there's a conjuration, and God, I think invisibility is enchantment. Whatever invisibility is.
Illusion.
Oh God, yeah, obviously. Conjuration and illusion. It seems that this hut is magical in nature as the invisibility spell on. If detect magic goes through barriers, I think, right? Like through what you can see.
Yeah, other than lead and whatever it is, a foot of rock.
The coffin itself. The coffin detects magical as well. Abjuration, and when you look closely, there is abjuration on on the door and the window.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but
You said
considering how much we just invested in figuring out what this thing is, I say we go bust that door open and take a look.
I go,
Shouldn't
Can we try
knock first?
knocking first?
you said there was a chest there too.
How hard do you want me to knock?
Anything ping on the chest?
Anything what on this chest? Sorry.
Anything ping on the chest as far as what type of magic?
That's a good question. Abjuration, I would say.
Blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of metal, 3 feet of wood.
Be careful with the door and the window. It's protected with some form of abjuration magic.
Oh,
This
Oh.
close to the road is going to be protected. That illusion was not enough. This could be anything from something we have to kill and slay immediately to one of Liza's safe houses. I
That's a
pull
good
out my
point.
rapier and I kind of tap on the door with the tip of my rapier. I just walk up to it. I just
Tap on the door. Knock, knock.
Just
Happens.
chops down and tethers the horse and goes and joins Tarmingen.
I'm gonna pull my bow out and just be at the ready.
Yeah, Archibald will shout out hello the house and see if we get any verbal answer.
Very classic greeting. I like that.
Hello.
Thank you.
The house does
history.
not. The house does not answer. However, you guys see you guys hear like "Wow, wow, wow," as like a bunch of like birds like get startled by the shout that echoes through the trees, and you guys see something shift inside. The coffin's lid begins to slowly start shifting, but then stop.
I whisper over to Varys, whose fist can't see anything. What's happening?
There's a coffin in there. A coffin that's halfway open and just stopped. Looks like it was activated by Archie's voice, perhaps, because it was closed before he yelled out.
Well,
Like it's more like it's like started like rising a bit, like as if something inside like started to open it, like just to kind of like take a peek and then like close it again.
Oh, it closed back down. Okay, I'll relay that.
Oh, it did close. I tap again a little bit louder.
Okay, as you tap again, like making it obvious that it's a knock that you're doing, it opens all the way this time. From inside rises a man. His hair is long and blonde, covered in dirt. You can see that patches of his face are covered in terrible burns, not like from fire, but also as if he's been, like third-degree sunburns, if you've ever seen those. You guys recognize Escher, the vampire. He looks much worse for wear. As he clambers out, carefully, you can see him like drawing a rapier of his own, as well as a wand, as he peers through the window and recognizes you guys. He relaxes.
As soon as I see him, I'm putting my rapier away.
Yeah, he puts his weapons away as well. And
What?
Yeah,
Man,
do we
you guys are
trust
just friends
this
with
one?
everyone here, huh?
I said, no, we can't. I just look back and go, no, we can't trust him. Yes, he's a villain. You're about to meet Escher.
as he opens the door, he says, "I rather resent that description, Mr. Talmadge. I don't think I'm a villain. I'm different."
You are our villain. Be honored.
Escher, what's up?
Mr. Varys, I am... Well, don't just stand there like a bunch of loaves of bread. Just come in. Were you followed? Wait, did you come from Krezek?
Not to Krezek yet.
Okay, just come in. Like, he practically, like, pulls all of you, like, physically. And then, like, when he sees Vasila and Archie, he's like...
They're part of us.
Right.
Yeah, we're heading to Krezek, though. Do you have news?
He closes the door behind you, passing a hand, chanting something, and gestures, and you guys see several chairs, like very comfortable ones, kind of flop around the room. He takes a deep sigh. Gone is, you guys see that his clothes that were once, like just top of fashion, like beautiful clothes, ragged and covered in dirt. He's rubbing like his face, gently, like touching it, as he falls into the biggest and comfortablest chair. Well, I suppose I should introduce it is polite to introduce oneself first, Mr. Halfling. I am Escher, and I am an ally of sorts with your companions here.
Oh, I'm Archibald Proudfoot. It's very nice to meet you. And I'm the newest and greatest member of this troop.
I am most certainly charmed. Well, your troop and I have had some disagreements in the past, but we are working together for now. Turns to Vasila. And you, madam.
Vasila, Monster Hunter, how you doing?
I am simply peachy keen, he says. Like you can see like the skin on his face like stretches painfully as he says so. Obviously not peachy keen. How did you... Never mind. I've learned long ago to stop questioning the wilds of this place.
I go, oddly enough, the object of your focus and the one that we obviously are involved
He's immediately like standing up straight and paying attention, like sitting up straight and paying attention.
He was kind of taking us to Krezek
What?
in disguise.
Why?
We don't know. He was trying to play a game, but he wanted us there. So there must be something there that's interesting.
Oh, that is rather like him. He used to change forms and try to catch each other. Moving through Valaki, through Krezek, Little Barovia. He would have to... I suspect he always knew who I was, being the Lord of Barovia, but we did have some other fun times. Right, sorry, I didn't mean to reminisce.
What did Strahd want at Krezek?
I have no idea. It's a horrible, damned place. At the moment, they seem to be particularly unhappy. They're having some unpleasant troubles with the undead. Well, the less attractive form of the undead. Smiles. But then kind of kind of gesturing at his face and then touches a rough spot and then grimaces. I would not... I traveled there in order to research the things we've discussed previously, he says through gritted teeth. However, I've ran into trouble. The Abbey. The abbot in it. I suppose he does have some manner of particularly potent divine powers. He sensed my presence as I approached the town.
Divine. What kind of divine?
Don't ask me. Do I look like some kind of god bother to you? I don't know. He got wings, and when I looked at him directly, my eyes hurt. I couldn't tell his form well after he changed.
Symbols. You wear symbols.
Yes. The sun, I think, but I think I saw another. Didn't quite catch it, though. Be that as it may, I was more concerned with escaping for my life.
I understand.
Okay.
I will ask not where you go. I'm sure your road is taking you far afield in many places. Yeah. You're earning this. I will say that. I would avoid Valaki. There may be something you don't want to get tangled in there.
Valaki?
Yes.
Why? I was hoping to go there and enjoy a measure of safety. What's wrong now?
You can go there. I just wouldn't recommend digging too much while you're there.
Mr. Ptarmigan, if we are to cooperate further, I would appreciate ceasing the double talk.
Well, this is dangerous enough that it's better you don't know, even for you.
Ah,
It is actually to protect you. Don't look while you're there. Then get out. If you see something weird and scary, just stay away from it. Because it would be weird and scary even for you.
you know, in some ways you do remind me of not his most fortunate quality, I am afraid. Keeping information to himself, believing that he knows better than everybody else. Does have other charms to make up for that one particular fate. Fine. I suppose I shall head to Little Barovia, yes. It's a rather dreary little place, but I do get bored. These damn trees and...
The wine will flow again soon. That will be easier for everybody to deal with.
wine and blood, I suppose. Well,
We will ask. Yes.
ask what? Ask where? You are guests in my house once again. Although this time I invited you in. How ironic.
And I've yet to get a refreshment. Do you have a teapot in here anywhere?
He snaps his finger and several cups of tea materialize.
Right, it's magic. Yeah.
He looks particularly annoyed. The tea doesn't look. Look, it looks alright tea. It smells like just your generic mint tea.
Look
There
at him
you
and go.
are.
Have they
Kind of
found
as an
her?
If I can, pry a little bit, I'm not going to ask what you and the Grey Company have for a relation, but I am kind of curious on if you know Strahd any more than him, being the ruler and lord such.
Varys is gonna chuckle a little
He
bit.
sighs dreamily.
Oh no.
I do know Strahd, and he has known me many, many times.
Wink, wink.
Oh,
Ardently?
Yes, Cardinal. I was one of his concubines. Lived in Castle Ravenloft until I earned his ire. I do not wish to speak of it. It's more, you could ask your friends. The last time they invaded my home and we became uneasy allies, exactly what it is that happened. Suffice it to say that yes, my dear, I know Strahd as I would dare say no other man does.
understood. Thank you. She grabs like a teacup and takes a sip.
Yep, big old gulp of tea.
All right. Well, this is nice seeing you again, but we really are in a rush.
Yes.
They found her.
Her who?
The one he searches for.
Oh, right. Yes. Well, no. I believe she's in the area. But every time I close in on her with my scrying spell, it goes awry and gets shunted away. Through rough estimations, I do believe that she is headed south. Probably
Wouldn't want to be in
into
too
the-
much of a hurry on your oath.
in the direction of the Wizards of Wines. As far as I can tell, at least.
I looked at Tarmagen.
I agree. We're almost there now.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
I look at Escher and I go, I am sorry, I did warn you. That oath would be a bad idea. We have a place to ride to very quickly. Be safe.
If it is Krezek that you're heading to, I do recommend not appearing suspicious to this abbot if you do run into him. Although, in fact, if you do run into him, if you could chop his head off, that would be a particular favor to me.
Food for thought.
Sally, did it have a sword?
Oh, let me see. Did it have a sword? Like he opens his tears his robe, and you can see like this horrible like gash where like his ribs have been bisected apart, like this, and you can see like the scorched area around it. Not really healing. Well, yes, I dare say he did have a sword.
Symbol. Son.
I don't know. I was trying to get away.
Daniel,
Yes, I saw. What? Yeah.
could I make a check? Not necessarily the symbol itself, but kind of the divine bullshit this guy welled out of him. Could I try to like come close to identifying
Give me a
it?
religion check. I'll say it's gonna be pretty hard without saying the actual thing. All you have to go on is a sun, and that the guy had wings.
Yeah.
Wings.
Transformed.
Hey, yeah.
Sun,
Whoa.
sword.
Yeah, okay. Whatever.
Can I also try?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, I guess with this check, I would say it's probably Uriel.
Nice. Tomagen, give me a d20, please. Honor him. Wings and really strong divine connections. The abbot might be a little bit more than your average guy. In fact, might be some kind of celestial being.
Oh my God, we've got a horse for him.
What? I will say it has to be an actual like mount type animal. You can't just like walk up to an angel or whatever and like put a fucking
Archie, have
saddle on
polymorph on him right now.
Hey, we're gonna roll. We're gonna
No,
roll
I'm
for
not
that.
slowing that. It's not going to work. Although it would be funny as hell.
He's already got wings, damn it!
He's already got one. I won't say anything now. I'll tell the party after we've left.
Alrighty.
I tell, yeah, and I'll wait till after we leave before I say anything.
Alright, so Talmudin, for a moment, as you know, he had a spike of emotionality there with the annoyance. You saw, like, you blink, and I'd say, Honorim, you have particularly high, passive perception. You would notice, like, Talmudin's eyes kind of, like, flashing back into that, like, the oily quality, like that shimmer quality, like, hands for a moment. And on Talmudin, like, you would see, like, this image above Eschers' head, just for a moment, but like, it's too faded to see, and then it goes away. You blink and you're like, what? Right, well, unless you're here to donate a little snack for me, I really would appreciate it. There's not exactly too many people
Fisk
around.
walks out.
Well, I didn't really want to check from him anyways. Anybody else?
Bye.
What is it?
Take care.
Yeah.
Really? I will compensate you. How about you, my dear? He turns to Priscilla. Just a little bit of blood? Oh, you, cousin. He turns to Ferris.
She kind of takes the last sip of the tea. It's been a pleasure. Bye bye.
Good to see you, Escher. We'll until next time.
Until next time. He says with some measure of annoyance.
Oh, your house. Does it need attention?
My house?
Your home.
Oh,
You have a home and a bar. Is somebody taking care of it, or do you just leave it?
No, it's should be taken care of by my servants until my return.
They seem pretty dejected after you left.
Well, they would be. I'm rather amazing. Don't
All right.
worry. I'm not going to leave my little birds forever. I will return to them.
Okay. With that, I give him a kind of a polite bow, nod, and exit.
Although, you'll say after he leaves, I suppose might be in a little bit of a bind. Well, I don't know how able they'd be to leave the house now that you've reinstated the protection of the bones in the lock. They might have gone feral, but I have high hopes for them. You have
We'll
other
see.
things to take care
No, they
of.
were being watched. But don't worry, they were being watched. Not interfered with, but watched.
Oh, well, in that case, they're probably ash already. All right. Either way, I'll find others. Good luck out there, I suppose. And,
You too.
the shoo guys out of his hut, closing the door, and us kind of like putting the window down.
Man, if I'm already freaking out, that's not
Back up.
if I was bitten by a vampire. Ugh. Right? Vampire and a werewolf. That doesn't sound fun.
I just kind of go, I don't trust my eyes. Did anybody see my eyes?
Flicker. Yes.
Yes.
Watch them. If you see that, don't trust it. Assume something can see. I think something can see when that happens. I could be wrong, but
Oh.
assume it.
Ah. Wow.
It's just wrong. I could be wrong, but assume. And,
I hope for your sake and ours you are, but we'll stay vigilant. Also, good lord. Oh, sorry. Oh.
Back on the horse. Let's go.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'll relate our history with Escher as we ride.
All right. So, basically, actually, you know what? How about this? Would you guys be okay with taking like a quick 5-minute break? I'm just gonna. So, as you guys leave Eschers estate, cross the bridge, so water. You guys can see as soon as you guys are like past the bridge, um, does like dozens and dozens and dozens of footsteps on the road ahead. This area is a little bit more snowy, and the snow here has not had time to melt quite yet. And
With the road or crossing it?
with the road,
Are they human?
the footsteps, yes. The yeah, like dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of human footsteps.
Archie's gonna say I don't like the looks of this. We got
Boots,
things
bare
speed or
feet.
stealth.
And as you guys are like looking around, some of them are bigger than the others, and some of them don't look that human at all.
Fisk, do you have pass without a trace, or does anyone have that available? I'm not sure if it'd be worth using.
How much daylight do we use in the house? Like, can we still get to Krezek before
Yeah.
darkness?
Right now, the time I would say is about. It's only
I
about 3
suggest
o'clock right now.
Fisk go ahead. Yeah, I suggest Fisk go first. And I'm like 30 feet behind him, and then everybody else 30 feet behind me.
I'll keep an eye on the back.
Do that.
Fisk will turn Banris around, go in the center of the group, close his eyes, and you all see the shadows kind of crawl from the trees around and crawl up the horses and kind of cling to all of you. I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace. And then I'll turn around and head maybe 20, 30 feet ahead of Tarmingen.
And I'll follow up, and when I get ahead a little bit, motion everybody to start following as well. And I am high alert. I'm looking
be
up,
within
down,
30
around.
feet of Fisk.
We have to be what?
We all have to be within 30 feet of Fisk for it to work.
I look at Fisk and I get 30 feet away from him, and I'm like, just be sharp. Watch if we react to anything. If we vanish, get quiet. Get off the road.
Mighty.
Stay quiet. Get off the road.
You guys are being so careful. You think that you've went through some traumatic experiences in the road. Right. As you guys climb, continue up the road, up and up, it's starting to increase in elevation. And you guys can see from where you from where you are, like this. It's almost like over the top of the trees. It's a somewhat familiar scene to what you've experienced in Little Barovia, where Strat's castle is like overlooking the village from the top of the cliff. This is similar in a smaller scale. You guys can see. You guys made it all the way without encounters. Good for you guys. You guys can see small cliff overlooking the town. The town is surrounded by a large, tall wall with a rather formidable gate at the front. You guys can see that the footsteps that you guys were following, practically forming some camped down path all the way up to the front of the town. It definitely seems that there's been some manner of attack.
I ride, and not slowly. I actually kind of speed up and kind of catch up with Fisk and say, "Come on," and ride straight up to the gate. I don't want to look like I'm hiding at all. I'm like, "Hello."
I'll follow his lead, do the same thing.
I like that movie, guys.
Follow his lead.
Yep. Is there any response at the gate?
One moment, sorry, I just want to give you guys
no
the new
problem.
map.
Oh, okay.
You know what's interesting? I was reading up about because I just finished like a bunch of papers. I was reading how pain is literally practically lowers your IQ. It's almost lowers your. It kind of like lowers your IQ by about almost 20 points or something like that.
So you're saying you
20's
have
a lot.
a disadvantage on intelligence right now?
I am with it. I am, yes. And I was thinking about making it like an actual mechanic where if you're in pain, that like intelligent stuff is done with
Oh,
percentage
man.
of probability.
Brutal,
I'm a
but accurate.
barbarian.
No, why not? Oh, that reminds me. There is something I want to like talk to you guys about a mechanic or two that I want to implement. But we'll do it at the end of the session.
Hey, while you're doing the map change, what are we looking at right now? Is it a wall? Is it
It is a wall at in a little hilltop city, and like the hill kind of continues above it. And there
How
is
tall is the wall?
The tall is about 40 feet high, about the same height as the wall in Valaki.
Wow, impressive.
Oh yeah, this is serious. You can see over as you guys approach and stand closer to it, you guys can definitely tell that this place has seen its fair share of shit. Definitely, the wall definitely looks extremely rough, especially like at the gate, where, in fact, now that you guys are closer, you guys can see quite a few guards, maybe like 16 or so guards, kind of like, like with crossbows looking ready. And as you guys approach, like you can see them through the mist, and like they immediately like aim their crossbows at you, and they're like, "Halt! Who goes there?" And like like the guys fixing the gate, like, "Ah!" and like immediately like run inside in fear as the guards like slowly like kind of like walking backwards.
I go, "Oh, relax. We're the great company out of Balaki. What happened?"
Never fucking heard of you. Aye, let the Burgomaster know that there's strangers. This guy speaking seems to be some manner of captain or sergeant, judging by his armor there. You can see he has a eye patch, and you can see like from under the eye patch like a ragged scar that practically took off a chunk of his jaw like this, and a chunk of his actually even did, but yeah, like a chunk, like basically like a chunk of his face was removed. Like you can, as he's speaking, he goes as he drools a bit from the opening in his mouth. Not many live folks come here these days. In fact, how do we know? In fact, there's a few things we need some kind of proof before we know we can let you in. Burgomaster's orders.
I look at him and I go, "Sounds like a smart man. We'll wait."
Yes. Lucky for you, the gate is broken right now. Otherwise, arrows would have greeted you first. And let me see. As you guys are waiting, Looking on yourself, this area of Barovia is definitely colder than the center. These people don't put you in mind of the town guard of Valaki. These guys, they don't seem, like drunkards or power-paired bullies. These guys are serious business. By the way they're walking, the way they're talking, the way they're focusing and communicating with each other, it's definitely obvious that survival of the fittest in a very harsh environment has brought these guards to be who they are. And if it came to an altercation, it would probably not be a good. After a period of about 20
I was going
minutes.
to say, Ptarmigan, you would have heard Fisk having an argument with himself and then coming to some sort of a decision. And I look at you and pull out the wand of cure wounds and look at the captain.
As you pull out the wand, like immediately, like the crossbows kind of like go to you. Do you guys see they're all heavy crossbows?
I put my hand up and I go, it's for healing. Relax. I think we're on the same side.
You say that, but now that I see that guy, that fellow a little bit closer is covered in fucking hair. Don't like the looks of people covered in hair and fur. What are you, some kind of fucking werewolf?
No, he's all cat. That's who he is and who he always has been.
Yeah.
He says this as his Fisk is like curled up in his saddle.
We'll test that too. As he says that you guys hear, "Ho there!" And from atop the wall, you guys. Well, he's fairly high up, so it's hard to see his face, but his voice sounds deep and serious. What business do you have with my town?
Just travelers seeking warm beds, some hot food, and some information.
Well, you came to the wrong place for that. Turn back to whatever it is you came from.
It's getting awful late. I don't think we can make it back to Valaki before nightfall. You wouldn't have some kindness and decency for some poor travelers.
Let me see. Give me a history check there, Archie. And I'll say Ptarmigan, give me one as well.
Alrighty.
Oh, I can re-roll one.
Forward,
Oh no, wait, that
once.
wasn't me.
No. You don't.
Oh
Both
no, wait.
ends of the spectrum.
I have bountiful luck, so you can re-roll that one as well.
What?
Oh.
That was my last level up. I took
No
bountiful
shit.
luck. If I'm within 30 feet of you, you get to re-roll natural ones.
That's fucking awesome! Whoa!
I think you
knew
both
I
impressed
liked
him.
him.
I think you both impressed Daniel and also made him like 10 times more worried.
Yeah, God. Right, so
Stay with. Yep, I'm your lucky charm, guys.
so
Nice.
let me see. Yeah, you guys, the both of you would know. As you say that, you do see that it kind of gives him and the guards pause, and they kind of grumble in annoyance. He's when you guys. You don't know, it's not like you guys heard it here, but you do know that in the rest of the material plane, a very common tradition for frontier towns like this is if someone, mentions their concerns for their safety, usually that basically means it's kind of like, their duty to provide some hospitality if they're short of security.
I promise this won't feel like a chore after we talk. You'll be glad we're here.
We're willing to work for our room and board. We are a capable group.
Are you? Well, I might just take you up on that, you hear from the top of the wall. I am Dmitry Kreskov, Burgomaster of Krezk. My town has been assaulted by the vile undead and the dark forces of the land for several weeks now. I do not know why they've decided to attack us so brazenly, so openly, and repeatedly and relentlessly. But I wish to test if you pose security risks for me and my people. Also, honor him, I'm imagining you're probably hiding your fucked up third eye.
Got a bandana for that.
Or like, like kind of like lowering your hood on top of it or whatever it is you'd like to do. Your pet were creature. Have him shed some blood by silver. I wish to see truly for myself if he is not a danger. The captain. Yes.
I look around for a were creature.
Yeah.
The Bogo, the captain.
When Varys sees you're about to pull out a blade, is that what's happening?
Like he pulls it there, not like like an attack, but like he does like approach like measuredly.
So Varys will hold up his hand. He'll pull out one of his silver arrows and say, "I got this." And I'll say, and I'll whisper.
I pull out my rapier.
and I'll just say, Fisk, don't worry.
As you do that, actually, the captain goes, "You think we haven't seen the painted arrow, the painted blade trick before? We're not stupid, you know. My blade. I know it, Silver, because I've cut the head off more than one mangy beast with it."
All right, Varys will say, "All right, fair enough," and he'll step back. He'll put his arrow back in his quiver, and he'll say, "Be careful."
I pull my rapier right out, very slowly, which is also silver. And I just I don't stab him with it, but I aim it at him. And I'm like...
So Tomjen, he said, we've seen the painted blade trick before. So it seems like they're saying,
oh, no,
whatever
no, I know.
things you have.
No. I'm pointing my rapier at him. And I'm like, if it's okay with Fisk, but you better be careful or I will take it unkindly. And I look at Fisk.
You would be a pincushion before you take the first swing. But I assure you I don't intend to hurt your friend more than is necessary.
I look at
These delays annoy me. Proceed.
I look at Darmagen. It thinks we are a were creature.
Cure their stupidity.
I hop down
Has to be
off
careful.
the horse and walk to him on all fours.
He definitely doesn't like that. And you see like the men like,
and I sit.
You guys see like more guards, over the top of the wall. You guys definitely have the attention of the town now. And
I
you spit.
sit in. I just sit in front of him, maybe 10 feet away.
He approaches you carefully. You can see that for his bulk and all, like you can recognize his talent. This guy is moving very quietly and with a perfect balance as he approaches you.
I don't move. I don't look at him.
But you do look like a cat. Can never be too careful. As he puts the blade where you want it. Usually it's just a hand.
Just slowly turn and look at him. It's its test.
He slowly raises the dagger up to your cheek, and you can see like the the point of it next to your eye. Cuts you with it. He immediately kind of like takes a ready pose, like expecting you to, at your throat. But, it was just a cut on your cheek. You used to pain. He seems shocked, like he wasn't expecting it at all. And you guys can hear the strain of like of the taut crossbows.
Happy?
He starts like to go in for another one, and then like you guys hear it from the top of the gate. Captain Bossanov! That's enough. Takes a few steps back. Strangers, you call yourselves the Grey Company. You said that for entrance into our town, you're willing to provide us a service.
Aye.
That is amenable to me.
Is the guy who sliced my cheek still within 5 feet of me?
No, he took a few steps back to stand with the rest of his guards. But he's about like 15, 20 feet away from you right now.
Okay.
Why, was there something you wanted to do to him?
Maybe, not right now.
Okay. So so the Burgomaster says, Dmitri. He doesn't say, my teeth, that's me.
Oh, okay.
He'll say, as you can see, and as I stated, our town has been attacked viciously. Every day their attacks grow more fierce, and the undead horde grows fiercer. My men, my people are strong and are no strangers to defending ourselves.
You probably haven't even heard of what happened at the Wizard of Wines.
We have. We know that it was cleansed by a group of outsiders. Personally, I assume it was you, but one never knows. Your kind always infests Barovia here and there, so one cannot be too sure. As I was saying, if you track down the source of this horde, destroy it, we will grant you entrance into the city and access to its services.
I do understand, but it'd be a lot easier to help you defend your city from inside those walls.
It would, wouldn't it? It would also be much easier to use some sort of magic trick, poison our wells, poison our harvest, or kill our children from inside his walls, now wouldn't it?
I guess. Well, I mean, we would like to help you, but can you help us? Do you know where this horde spends the daytime? What
Give me a
direction
persuasion
it
check.
goes?
Give me a persuasion check there, Archie. And Archie, also, you can, being a bard, like you know people and how they react. Go ahead and give me an insight check, please. Something about the way he said that stands out. Archie, having listened to this guy talk for a little bit and how he just said that, you realize that he's trying to hide some manner of great sadness weighing on him. When he was saying murder our children, his voice almost broke. In fact, you guys noticed like a couple of the guards looking back with concern and pity at the Burgomaster.
Yeah, I would say no. We would very much like to protect your children from any harm. But if you could help us, we would like to help you. What do you know about this undead horde? Is there a necromancer that we could find? Do you know what direction they come from?
He sighs and shakes his head. one of the guards actually begins to. You see him like discussing, like he holds up a hand like a symbol to wait, and like turns to discuss something with somebody next to him, and then you guys see one of the guards actually approach you guys. Like kind of get a closer look and says, "Wait, you really are the Grey Company. I remember my friend was used to work at the winery, and he said that amongst you there was a one covered in fur that looked like a cat that learned to walk."
I'll tip my hat to him. Our reputation precedes us.
My lord, I think these people really are the ones who saved the winery. I don't think this is a trick. The Burgomaster looks visibly annoyed at being interrupted, but nods to his conversation partner. "Very well, strangers. I was going to merely let you wait until such time that we deemed that we are safe once more, but you've already rendered us a great service by restoring the wines to our glasses. You may enter my city, but be warned, we are always watching."
I'll give him a deep bow and thank you for your kind wisdom.
He's already like walking away like from the wall. And you guys, like the captain, like the guard's gonna stand down and like go to get you guys up. Although like some of them are like still open, like keeping a vigil against any other threats that might approach. But the crossbows are no longer aimed at you guys, so that's a step up. And with that, I need to go to the bathroom real quick. Let's call it another 5 minutes, and then we'll continue. So
we.
Alrighty, you guys should be seeing a new map in about now.
It's there.
And yeah, you guys are let into the city gates, and I'm actually going to switch you to a new map again, so you guys can get a closer view of what you guys can actually see.
Yeah, going through the gates, Archie's going to be extroverted, waving, smiling, things like that. See if I can make an impression.
I'll assume like they have like stables. As you pass, like they ask you if you want to stable your horses there for like, let's say, a gold a day or something like that. 2 gold a day.
Sure. Is there an inn in town you'd recommend?
I'm just gonna like pull out 10 gold and I'm like, take care of them. They've been ridden hard and seen hell.
You guys have 6 horses, so that's for 1.5 nights. Well, one. Okay. Let's round it up for 12 gold, so it doesn't confuse the poor man.
Sounds good to me.
He's like,
But I'll ask him if he would.
He's like, so it's this or that. Okay.
So
yeah, I'm just.
As you guys,
if he would recommend an inn in town, or where do you think we should go first, sir?
So, as you guys enter, the town, like the city proper, following the, you guys can see like the Burgomaster like from the back, followed by his guards, and you guys can actually tell that he doesn't actually look like a typical Barovian at all. Like if you guys can see the map, he's dark skinned as opposed to the rest of pretty much every other Barovian that you saw. As you guys begin bombarding him with questions, he pauses, raising a hand, and turns to you. Takes a deep sigh. We do not have an inn. We do not have taverns. We believe in hard work here in my city. If you do not eat, it is because you did not work. You may try the different houses and offer them the protection for the night. Perhaps offer to do chores or any other thing that needs doing. I am a private man and have some things that I need to deal with. So do not look to me for that.
Here.
Recently, there's been a inheritance dispute at the Vasilikov house. I understand that they are looking for capable law seekers and arbitrary third party arbitrators. Perhaps you could fulfill that role, although I do not know if they would trust outsiders. That house is located to the north and to the west. Oh, sorry, I got somebody off. I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna take my hat off and thank him for his information and ask him if he would you like us to help you man the city gates tonight? How often are these attacks? Is it every night?
Oh, once every few nights. They're not predetermined. My men fill the corpses with bolts. Many of them break apart. However, recently we've even had flying ones. They've been getting deadlier, more dangerous. And every time one falls...
Seeing them, they're nasty bastards.
They drag back their, I suppose you'd say, they're dead. Many of them are Peruvian, as far as we can tell, through the rot, but many of them are not as well. They seem to have been twisted, sewn apart, torn together. That makes sense. If you know any outsider tricks to deal with it, he would be very thankful to you. He looks up
Tell
at
you
the...
what. Regardless of where all of us sleep, some of us are going to sleep and man this gate with you.
Is there an alarm? Do you ring a bell when an attack happens? How will we know to defend the city?
There is an alarm. Yes. You will hear the bells. Oh my gods. At the very least, we don't need to worry about the damned abbot. He shivers as he looks up, as he spits and looks up at the Abbey. Just barely visible through the foggy clouds. Also, it's starting to get dark.
Won't have to worry
Like,
about
yeah,
them.
even we've heard of that place.
Wouldn't an abbot help with undead creatures?
100%.
Why would he not worry?
That creature is abbot in title alone. That abbey is a cursed place. My people do not go there. Not anymore. The exhibits are
Isn't it
natural.
inside walls?
No, it's not inside the walls. It's like there's the town, and then there's a cliff, and then on top of the cliff is the abbey. When you guys were coming up, like on the road, like you guys saw like a kind of side road to go.
There's a
towards
cliff
the abbey.
in between.
So it kind of looms over the city.
Okay.
That place is terribly cursed.
Does Fisk recognize any of the symptoms of the undead when he says that they were stitched together?
I mean, yeah, like several times you guys seen undead that have been and other creatures that have been enhanced by exploratively In fact, I'd say all of you except for Vasilla
Damn
and
it.
Archie, who were not there at the time, can roll me a history check. Because you guys did see something that would tickle your memory
Yeah.
a little bit.
In the sewer.
Sure, I know exactly.
Honorim, you remember. Well, you can't say for certain. Necromancers, this is a fairly common habit among necromancers and experimentist wizards without morals or ethics without regards to creatures that they're experimenting on, basically mess with their physiology and anatomy in order to make them stronger, more brutal. But the way he said, like, turn apart and stitched apart and torn together, reminds you of a certain woman you've met in the sewers under Valaki. You know, and that her little projects. It was pretty friendly, though, so hey, who knows?
I assume we've been like walking and talking. Like, have I seen anything that looks like a business? You said there aren't any inns and taverns, but have I seen anything that looks like a blacksmith or anything else? General store?
It seems to be some kind of general. It seems to be there's some kind of general curio shop and equipment shop over here to the right.
Okay.
Over here, you guys hear the sounds of people singing from this house, something low and
I like that.
to the ground. Yeah, people are, for the most part, seem to be just existing here as the burgomaster. I've relayed all this information. If nobody says anything else to him, we will begin to leave.
If he's leaving, I'll say if we need to find you, where can we look?
I'm going to be dealing with some personal business. If you need help, you may approach any of the guards. I see. Damn it. I'm sorry, madam. Give me a second. Alrighty. I just responded to Adam. What was I? Right. So, yeah, as he said, like you might have to kind of like approach houses or people randomly if you wanted to. It says, and if you need help, go to one of the scouts.
So the shop to our right is you said it was equipment?
That seems to be like a equipment and such, like hard to tell through the windows, but it seems to be more than real. Actually, you note that it's like particularly messy, like crazy, like selection of items. You see toys, you see armor sets, you see musical instruments.
All right, I need to go in there.
There's no fun, there's no Blinsky.
Right, the man at the counter, there's a man behind the counter dealing a set of cards to himself that you guys written as a Taroka set. A woman is stacking books on empty shelves nearby as well.
So it's a little bit of everything?
It's a little bit of everything. There's even coffins and toy skeletons.
It's a
And a ballista
convenience store.
Yeah. So Barris will ask the guy behind the counter to say, how's it going?
I'm just saying that you lift up his finger. Pardon me, fine. I'm telling if I will make a sale today. One moment. He lifts the cards, the 5 cards over, like there are 5 cards in front of him, like in a kind of a plus formation, and he flips them over one by one, and his smile grows wider and wider. I am assured to make a sale and make a customer extremely happy. Welcome to Lonathan's Santries. How may I help you?
All right. Nice to meet you. I need some arrows.
Arrows.
Yeah. You have
Looks
any?
around. Where's that woman? Millie! The girl kind of drops like all over books. What? I'm right here. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize we had customers. Yeah, what? Do we have arrows? Yes, in the back. Sorry, as you kind of like bump past you, Tom, and you staggerly picks up the books, and but I'll be just one moment. And he goes off. You see that the girl is kind of sneaky,
I need
curious.
some other things too before you go back out. I have some other.
Oh, of course. You can find anything and everything you might need here. In fact, my shop will not need to go anywhere else.
We'll find out. Do you have any baby powder?
He looks extremely alarmed, and he makes the sign of like the Morning Lord on his chest. Good heavens! Pardon me, outsider. I am not familiar with your strange delicacies. We have no powdered babies here.
Okay.
I'll grab his arm like, hey, if you just tighten up your saddle, it won't rub you as much.
Well, all right.
He gently but firmly moves away.
Tarmagin giggles and goes, talcum powder.
Talcum powder.
Talcum. It's that white stuff they put on babies' butts.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
That's what it's called.
He kind of glances at each of you curiously, seemingly looking for something. And his gaze kind of goes back to Archibald, and his eyes kind of narrow in what seems to be disgust of some kind, but he's like, was there anything else?
Yeah. There's one other thing.
Do you have a public restroom?
Yes, right outside. I'll point to the window at the straw structure that I just decided is an outhouse.
I need some candy.
Candy, of course. Okay, I was wondering why you said that. Candy, of course. Yes, I do. In fact, I do have some candy. Bought some just the other day from that traveler.
Perfect. So if you can find those 3 things, it'll be great.
Of course, I have. Pull out a few boxes. You see what seems to be honeyed or sugared fruit. Sugared orange peels. I don't know if you had them in real life. And they're the sugared peels of various fruits. There's also honey droplets and hard candies as well.
Yeah, Archibald leans over and goes, oh, the Burgermeister would love those. Assume he's getting his normal discount, right? And I'll look at the shopkeep.
You'll have to give me a deception check.
Wow.
He looks incredibly nonplussed by what you just said.
But I'm a halfling, so I can read
one less reroll. One less reroll. You're getting your mileage out of this shit, man. Great.
Go ahead, Archie. 23. Well, I suppose at a time like this, even a bitter man like the Burgomaster needs something sweet. Terrible thing happened. Suppose if you're going to get these to the Burgomaster, I can give you a discount. I suppose, let's see, How about 25 gold overall? 10, 10, and 5 instead of 35.
This is for everything. Well, how many arrows do I get for that?
Well, not for the arrows. This is for the talcum powder and the candy.
25 gold for the talcum powder and the candy?
You did say that the candy... Oh, wait, sorry, and the arrows. My apologies, yeah. No, it made sense in my head, but then I realized, wait, no, the math is off. And the arrows, well, you did specify, so we only got one bundle.
How many are in a bundle in this town?
20. So there's a bundle of arrows, a pack of talcum powder, and about 6 rations of candy.
Just go walk up next to Varus on all fours and sit next to him. Look at the shopkeep. Do they have leather working tools?
Peers at you interestedly, but doesn't seem to freak out like the guards did. Leather working tools? Sure, of course. Wait, let me see, probably. There we are. Takes out seems to be a little bit, to have known a little bit of use before. In fact, as you look around the store, everything seems to have had a little bit of use. That is most things. How does 7 gold pieces sound?
Give him 10.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
You see, like, Vasila, like, she's kind of perusing around, but kind of holds up a finger. On the whole topic of leather...
Kind of, like, leans back from you. Madam, if you are sick, I do ask that you stay outside of the shop.
And no, Daniel, like, look at where she is on the map. She's, like, leaning over. She's over here at this.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just looking at the other merchandise over here. Do you have any... What would it be? Would it be a holster? Would it be a quiver? Something that can hold this so I don't have to rummage through my bag for it. And she holds up the freaking coffee flask.
So you want something to hold the coffee flask?
I said like a quick draw thing. Like just something just to fucking pull it out real quick.
Okay. Well, usually flasks are kept on one's bed. I suppose I could give you a letter code.
There's something.
I could just here you go. I'll say with all the money your friends are spending here, you can just have that. With
Sweet.
the milk of human kindness just dripping out.
Lean onto the table and kind of subtly pull out my broken, scorched, and snapped thieves' tools. I don't say what they are, and I'm like, it's like for these, they've seen a bit of use.
He'll switch to thieves' cant and say, don't want to be seen selling them around my little helper there. But why don't you come after nightfall, and I'll show you my special selection.
Understood. And I just dropped back into my pouch and
Out loud, he
continue
says,
browsing
sorry,
book
sir, I've
titles.
never seen anything like that.
That's okay. I get that a lot.
It's funny because like Millie wasn't paying attention, she's like focused on the book, but when he spoke loud, like he spoke loudly enough that she was like, what? Kind of like look.
She wasn't even paying attention. Yeah. See Vasila like setting up the little strap on her waist.
So, can I interest you with anything else? Perhaps how you would like blessings for your horses or protective charms against the predations of the undead.
It's Vasila shares a look with Archie.
I have
What
I
kind
have
of
some
protections? What
I
would they
return
do?
and I go,
Yes.
fantastic, excellent. Here, and pull out like this glass tray like that has like these. If you've ever been at the mall and like those jewelry stores and they have like those kind of like everything like this very nicely put it, but like kind of in a messy
Like a little
way.
kiosk.
Yeah, like a little kiosk, and you'll say, "Well, I have collections of the bones of Saint Markovia. Each and every one of these contains a shard of the bone of the sacred saint. I have my own grandfather, raided the Abbey before the good abbot came and enlivened it once more. And Saint Markovia herself came to him and she said, you know what she said? Ilianos, I rest here undisturbed, but my corpse is not doing what I wanted to do to help protect the people of Krezek. Take my bones, break them apart, make of them protective charms for the people. And here I am, still selling them to the good people and travelers of the city. You will notice there will be no markup for you being outsiders. Others, they will not treat you like this. Lonathan will treat you right. Only 20 gold for one job. Discount on the house.
Vasila's gonna elbow Tarmagen. Can you sniff anything out in those? With your,
I am assuming it is bullshit. I say it just that way.
You can roll insight if you want.
I was kind of suggesting the whole
Detect magic. Yeah.
I'm just convinced it's bullshit. I'm not going to bother looking into it beyond that.
I was like, who knows?
Are you sure? So, Honorim, are you casting Identify as a ritual?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it closely there. For a few minutes.
Okay, so just like as you're taking 11 minutes to do that.
No, it's you got that
yeah,
magic item there, so it's all ritual like casting or haft.
Oh, that's right. So like 5 minutes before you're like kind of like examining them. He's like, genuine article. These are like. There's about like 30 or so in the box. So yeah, these are the very last ones I have remaining. So you never know when somebody else might come and take them.
Interesting. Very nice. Very nice as I kind of look at it.
Yeah, these are... they do have magic on them, actually, surprisingly, but not of the kind that he claims. They all have illusion magic on them. And each one, as far as you can tell, once you wear it, if something, the first time while you're wearing it, something hits you, it will kind of like glow a bit, and then that's all it will do. It will keep glowing for a minute, and then the magic goes away.
That's hilarious.
I love it.
Fascinating, but not quite what I'm looking for.
Of course, I can tell immediately. As soon as I saw you, I said to myself, Jonathan, these are outsiders. The things they've seen to get here, they know their stuff. You don't want just anything.
No, not just anything.
So,
let me get you.
So one thing I bet you do have.
And I'll wink
I
at
bet
him.
you have.
Gentlemen, please, one at a time. There is one Lonington, but I will give you my entire devotion. Just pick which one talks first.
Sorry.
I pick you. He points to Honorim, because I already showed you one thing. And then I will show you that. Yes, my friend.
Show me your best, and I'll wink at him.
My best, of course. And pardon me, go into the back and like there's a bunch. She's like a bit of a workshop here, and like he's takes something, like takes a log, just like pulls it out, like with an almost reverent manner, and he'll place it in front of you. It is a small-ish wooden chest. He'll say, I've won this in a game of cards with a Vistani. You know what they say? Once you win cards with a Vistani, you will be childless for 10 generations. But you see, it did not happen. I am immune to the curse. We're gonna gesture to the young woman at the books.
Childish for 10 years. Like, Basile's kind of whispering. Like,
That's what he said.
He's kind of like, how the fuck is that?
However, these cards grant your every wish. As you can see, I have anything I can ask for. I have my business, I have my daughter, my wife, hard-working, the most beautiful woman in all of Markovia. What more could a man ask for? Nothing. So I keep this in case a truly high-quality customer comes in. A high-quality item or high-quality customer. Perhaps for, let us say, 500 gold pieces, these cards can be yours. Open up, and there is indeed a deck of cards inside.
Does it look like our deck that we have already? Or similar to?
It actually does kind of look like that, yes. It looks a lot more complete, though. By a glance, it seems that there are 22 cards inside. Catching your glance, I know it is missing a couple. But unfortunately, the state I won them in. I even had a friend of mine who is a great and powerful wizard, but keep it a secret. Most people here in Markovia, they don't like magic very much. Oh, an outsider as well, just as yourself. And he himself told me of the great and powerful potential of this item. He called it a deck of infinity. What a name, huh?
Yeah.
To ablaze the imagination. Surely a man such as yourself can immediately sense the powerful potential held inside.
Oh, absolutely. But I regret to say that we've already got one.
Sputters.
Very impressive, though. Very impressive.
You have one. Well, this is the genuine article. It is very possible you have been fooled, sir. May I see yours? You guys even still have that? I thought you guys sold it or gave it to somebody.
So
No,
you're
we've been- oh, no, it's-
too.
It is in that bag
Yeah,
of
it's in
holding.
the bag of holding. I'll pull it out.
Nice.
Just kind of show him. He doesn't touch.
I can just remember how many cards there are in that one.
There were
It's like
7.
7. See, it is so incomplete. 7 only left. The power of that deck must be greatly diminished, practically gone. Whereas mine, 22 cards.
Would you like to buy these 7?
Yeah.
It's your deck.
As I said, I have everything I would ask for. I'm afraid I am looking to move merchandise rather than acquire it.
I understand. I am more akin
Perhaps
to...
it is a problem of price. I could see them go for 400 gold pieces.
No, it's more than that. It's I'm not one to bend so much of reality towards fate. I don't put much stock in it myself. So for us, it's just a trinket. But if you'd like to buy it, I'm sure we could come up with a price. But as far as adding to our collection, I don't believe it's a thing we are interested in.
Fine. How much do you want for it? Suppose I might as well complete it.
Tarm?
About how many cards were in his deck? I
22.
Audio cut out. 22.
And we
You
have
said
7.
500. So
You went down to 4.
that
$20 a card.
I'll
give or
turn in.
take.
Is it worth it for that price?
Sorry, what's that?
Norm kind of whispers to Tarm, is it worth that price? Like, even if we get 200 gold for it, is it better just to keep it?
Give me an arcana. Check with advantage, Tomagen, because you've heard of these things before as well. Honorim, you too can also. Although Honorim, like, you're not as experienced in terms of like what things cost in terms of
yeah, I
buying.
kind of have a feeling, but yeah.
Yes.
So Varys is gonna go over to the guys and huddle up for a second. He's gonna say to the shopkeeper, he's gonna say, hold on one second.
What? Yes, my friend.
And he'll ask Tarmagen and honor him and say, listen, I like playing cards, but I don't remember what the fuck was in our bag. What are these things?
I go, give them as a Hail Mary. You pull them. You don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be big.
Could be good.
But
could
it
be
might
bad.
kill you too.
See, yours is like yours functions like that. Mine is a deck of wishes. Mine is clearly the superior item. I know it is. I'm just saying, 400 gold. That's a good deal. Doesn't come in. He really says, "Dad, they're not going to buy it. Stop." Shh, child. No, nothing. Go back to your books. Pardon me. She is. She takes after her mother. Women.
She's a good judge of people. You've done well.
Thank you, good sir. Thank you. The Morning Lord was kind to me. Very good. Perhaps he can be kind to you as well. If we can just have a deal here.
I'm not much into chance. I could care less whatever anybody.
It is technically a legendary item, and a 22 card deck is incredibly rare, being almost complete. It's really only 4 cards off from being complete.
I go, it's probably worth it in resale if we ever get out of this place. Your call. I don't expect to live.
Well, I don't have those kind of funds. So.
More relatable, though. Anyways, cards.
It's something the party wants. Possible trade
How about
later.
y'all think about it? And I look at him, I go, how about information? That
How
is
about
one
this?
of real value.
How about this? You have a deck of 7. I have a deck of 22. How about we trade? We trade because I am giving you more cards. Give me just, call it 150 gold pieces in addition to your 7 cards. I think the spirit of trade has landed here between us, making us brothers. What do you say?
Insight check on this guy.
Go ahead.
Same here.
Go ahead.
Translation: insight check on this sleazeball.
It indeed seems the spirit of trade has come here and made you brothers. I mean, he's giving you this is a 22. You guys are pretty rich at the moment, so I'm 50 old. It seems like he wants to give it to you and wants to give it back. You kind of get the impression he's trying to move the merchandise, which hasn't really gotten moved in a long time, which is what he's basically kind of hinting at, as far as you can tell.
All right. Can I compare our deck with his deck and see if we have the missing cards to complete the deck?
The thing is, you can't see what the cards are while they are inside the deck. That will require pulling them out.
Hey,
Like,
Honor,
just
is
pull
the
a card.
back an
Nobody else say
exact match?
anything.
Or is it a match? Is it the same deck?
Hold on a second.
yeah, I was gonna.
Hold on a second. So you're telling me that for 150 gold, what's the deal again?
22 of these
We
crazy
give him
cards.
7, we get back 22. Yeah, so
We
7
have 15?
cards plus 150 gold is
Hey.
22 cards.
Yeah, Honor him. You see Vasilla like motion you over. She you know she's kind of listening in while she's looking through. Hey,
Yes.
all right, could you do? I don't know what magic is. Could you do your thing to tell what kind of item it is on both of them?
On both of which? The decks?
On those that I don't know. Are you just guys? Are you guys talking about actual magic decks or just like really novel type collectible shit?
No,
'Cause I'm trying to
actually,
pick up.
actual, very magical.
Okay, so my hunch was right.
Mhm.
So
22
feels-
could be us going out in a blaze of magnificent glory. It would shake all of Barovia.
Yeah, she's kind of whispering as she's saying this. I'm getting a feeling that they are like they could do different things. Maybe he sees something in them that we don't.
Varys is going to step in. He's going to say, "Listen, so I can use one of these cards whenever, like in any scenario, or when do you use the card?"
Whenever you
And I'm
pull.
talking in silence to I'm in a huddle with the great company right
Well,
I'm like, you hold on to it, you pull it out and look at it, and whatever happens, happens.
now. Okay. Varys is going to look at him and say, "I will buy I want them. Are you guys okay with that? You don't want the 7 cards. I want those cards. I'll spend $150 for that, and I'll give you 20 for the arrows, the powder, and the candy. So 170 for all that."
You, my friend, are a shrewd and capable businessman. Are you looking for a wife? Dad! What the hell? You're almost 22. So what? I don't want to get married right now. Your mother and I were 19 when we opened this shop. Yes, and you were miserable. No, we worked our asses off. And she's like, okay, I'm done with it. And she's like, just
you see, like you see,
he's like, don't you walk away. And she's just like, dun, like you guys hear like door slam upstairs.
I'd say the two closest people would hear Vasilla mumbles like 22's not that bad.
I assure you, she would make a most excellent wife. If any of you, actually, would you, if you are looking for places to stay, I assume it is getting dark. We have exchanged goods very well. If you want to do a little bit of a service for me, I would be more than happy to supply you with a place to stay for the night.
That sounds I don't know. What do you guys?
But
think?
before that, let us finish our deal. My apologies, getting ahead
Okay.
of myself. As he exchanges the cards, and somebody was asking something if they want to see if the cards are the same, like the decks are the same in appearance.
Vasilla like kind of whispered over to Honor him real quick because she doesn't really know.
Perception check, please, for anyone who is currently doing it.
And
All right, fuck it, let's go.
all right, I was looking at the book titles. Did anything stand as interesting? I put it.
Oh, I missed that. Give me a
Roll20
second.
chat quite a while ago.
My apologies.
No worries.
Alrighty. So here are some books. I Will Love You Forever. It's kind of romance novel. The Anatomist Clown toy. The Legend of the Six Kings. The Red Hordes. The Legends of the Ravens. Tinker Tailor sold a Crash Victims, a book on Pidelovsky's inventions.
I'm going to grab that book on Legends of the Ravens.
It seems to be a book from the short description in the back and the front. It seems to be discussing the sightings of were ravens around Markovia. That's a 16. Go sit in the corner. That's a 17, and that's a 16. As far as you guys can tell, these look pretty identical. It seems like the box that the deck is in like kind of shrinks to suit the size of how many cards are left. So both of them are fairly similar in appearance. Just one is like thinner than the other.
Yeah, I guess it's a magic item thing to do. You see anything on this? No. Huh. I can't tell. So I'll leave that up to you guys. I'm going to.
Well, let's put it this way. If it isn't what he says it is, we will soon find out. And I'm sure he doesn't want a great company upset with him. So,
could you let me know when you guys find out? Because I'm kind of morbidly curious. A lot of.
I hold up the book and I go, "How much for this one?"
That one. Let me see. Well, that is a first edition printing, my friend. That is a scholarly tome you hold in your hand. Every single book of that was printed of that edition has been burned. The were-ravens themselves, they say, burnt them, fearing that people will discover their secrets. Where are they now? They could be lurking amongst us.
I'm just curious how accurate it is about my friends. How much is it?
Your friends? What?
I'm curious how accurate it is about my friends.
What's the book about?
Well, your friends here are were-ravens?
Not here.
Party.
Do you see any? Are you silly?
I do not know. I am sorry, sir. Pardon me. You are friends with the were-ravens. Of course, sir. Of course. It is extremely accurate. As I said, this was penned by one of their own number, a rogue were-raven, I believe. She was a mere 32 gold pieces for you. Normally, that book would go for 50, but because we are friends now, we are brothers in trade and ambition, 32 for you.
Okay, I only have 15. And I just go put it back on the shelf.
Well, yeah, right. Unfortunate. Well, now that all trade has been concluded, unless there was anything else you wish to purchase from me today.
DM, I would have. I'd like to.
Oh, sorry, it was too big, so and then it asked me to do the Naito thing, so I didn't realize.
I would have wanted to recon and asked for some leather as well.
Sure, I'll say that he'll sell you about 10 feet worth of leather for let's say 20 gold.
20 gold. Okay.
Is it good leather?
Yeah, that better be damn good leather.
Go ahead and give me a leather kit check.
This man, he gonna make some nice shoes, huh? Ooh.
Honor him, this is indeed a deck of many things. Yeah, this seems like pretty decent leather. Not as high, it's not like insane, like triple S quality or whatever it is that leather gets, measured by, but pretty decent leather. There's no bad smell on it or anything. As far as you can tell, it was probably made of cow. Which I guess is like what leather is usually made out of.
Well, there's cow leather, there's lamb leather.
Yeah, this is probably not lamb leather. It's
yeah.
probably cow leather.
Okay. All right. Yeah, all right. I'm not going to argue with him.
My pleasure. Right? We also should say. I
I'm
also
already
have a
walking
collection.
away.
A collection of hair products.
Grab it, pay him, walk away. I'm not going to argue with him.
All right. He smiles to you.
What was this task?
Oh, right. Of course. The task. Yes. As you can see, my daughter, she's I'm afraid her nose is always in a book of some sort. You know how it is. I was wondering. I'm afraid she doesn't exactly have the best reputation here in town, as most of the young men prefer simpler wives, ones who don't ask questions, who don't argue, who, not to find a point on it, are not smarter than them. If you could somehow see your way towards perhaps helping her find to charm a young man, or even just teach her with it how to charm young men. I don't know. It kind of deflates. I could really use a hand around the shop, having a son-in-law would be great, and I'm afraid that I don't have any sons. She's my only daughter. I just right. If you just promise to help with that, we'll arrange some bedrolls here in the shop once we close. How does that sound?
We can try.
I can't say it's our field, but we can try. Certainly can't make a promise.
And with all the gold you spent here today, I would say your promise is as good as stone.
Okay.
Was there anything else I could help you with today? I'm sure if you look around the shop, you'll find something to your liking.
Do you perhaps carry crampons and pitons?
Crampons? What's that?
Just spiky little implements for you tie onto your boots to help you climb mountains, per se.
Oh! Well, you see, I do think I have one of the people staying at one of those dark-skinned adventurers who were here the other day. Well, let me see. There we go. They're a little bit rusty and a little bit bent, but just oh God! I was making a brushing motion, punched myself in the jaw, made my braces clack together.
Ow.
That hurt. That really hurt. There was tears in my eye.
That'll wake you up.
Oh God, yeah. He's basically saying that there seems to be some other adventurers that have been staying nearby, and that they've sold off their equipment.
Interesting. So I'm kind of curious here. This the road outside of your town that goes out away from Valaki. What goes out there? Who travels that road?
Away from Valaki? Of which do you speak, my friend? He'll pull out a dusty-looking map and ask you to indicate, because I'm not sure what you mean.
Okay, so well,
give me a second. I'll just move you to the
Valaki's here. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I sit there and I point out, and I'm like, I point to Valaki.
Okay. And then where do you point?
Hold on. Where's
To the
my-
east.
I'm like, I go, what the hell is out there? Who comes and goes that way?
Oh, like over there? Like this?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, no one. I suppose except the Vestani. Sometimes they pass. We trade with 2 of their clans, but the rest are, just the gesture of the sun again. Dark ones. Do not wish to trade with them, lest they bring more curses upon our houses. In fact, sometimes they bring adventurers who might help, to help us here, but for the most part, they end up giving up. It's rather sad. But it keeps me well supplied, at least, with all kinds of adventuring equipment and rare things from all over the outside of Barovia, not to be found anywhere else.
That could be handy. And what's the deal with the guy living up on the hill?
Oh, you speak of the Abbey. The Abbey. Bogo, I would lower your voice with the Bogo Master, and it's not fond of him.
I kind of pull out that 15 gold, and I lay 5 down.
I will tell you everything you want to know.
That is the correct answer.
I'm sorry, that was really good.
So, you begin. So,
yeah. I just said,
someone
tell me
has
what
a
you
long-
know.
So he'll say, long ago, before the mists came to Barovia, when Barovia still had a different name, now lost to time. Krezek, well, didn't exist. It was just not that you know it now. They say we were a kingdom that spread all the way down south. I don't know how true that is. It's been several before my time, but it is not a young. So they say it was built by Saint Markovia. She was a holy woman on a holy mission to bring the light, the sun of her Lord to all the corners of the earth. Every nation she stopped in, she built a church with her bare hands. They say Saint Markovia was as strong as 10 men and was the size of a giant. Now, Saint has passed long time ago. However, mists fell. She went out to defend the people of Krezek. And she did, because Krezek is still here. But when the morning came, the mists finally cleared a little bit. Hundreds and hundreds of corpses were everywhere, and hers was torn to pieces 5. The people took the pieces of her body and buried them up on the hill from which she loved to sit and meditate. When the sun was still there. Around it, they built up an abbey for her. Afraid that perhaps, I do not know, something went awry along the way, but those who few of her followers went to live in that abbey. But she was a great unifier of different people from outside and inside. I'm afraid that once she was gone, they began arguing and fighting over a doctrine. What it meant that she died fighting against Strahd and his forces. In the end, as the abbey began to become attacked in the following nights, the priests of the abbey fell upon one another, fighting for food, for wine, for flesh. They say the screams could be heard all over the valley. The abbey was silent for a full century. No one dared to go there. Except my grandfather, of course. As I said, genuine article. He found the bones, the remains of Saint Markovia, and here she is. She is with us right now. But as I was saying, where was I? Yes. Then a century ago, a pilgrim came from a distant land, from the outside. Usually when we get outsiders, they're confused, they're frightened, or they're angry, they have justice and such in their hearts, looking to fix things. And we appreciate it, but we know what's going to happen in the end. They either go and try to fight Strahd, they don't even make it all the way to Valaki. Usually something gets them, they see how frightening it is, they come running all the way back and they settle down here. In fact, the Burgomaster's family, Burgomaster himself could probably tell he is descended from outsiders as well. Where was I? Right. So, the Abbey. This pilgrim was completely different. His eyes were gold. Not gold like the color, gold like made of molten gold. His hair like honey. And he just radiated this sensation of peace, of calm. They say that he went to the Abbey, purified it, and restored it to a functioning state. And that then for 10 days and 10 nights, people came to him and he healed all of their woes, made all of them well again, even some, they say, even brought the dead back to life. And not as in the usual Barovian manner, true life. But who else has that kind of power? The man in the big castle. The Burgomaster at the time declared that until such suspicions can be allayed, no one is to go to the Abbey. In fact, the road up there is guarded by his men. So you would need to be particularly good climbers or able to fly, and I don't see wings on any of you, if you'll excuse me.
Smug look to Archie.
But right, ever since the abbot was a proud man, but not proud, angry, proud. Same way that I don't know. If you ask your father to prove himself, what is a child's challenge? That is how he made it seem. And so, for the last 97 years or so, no one in Krezek really went up there. Though, between you and me, I don't know how true that is. Like I said, my grandfather did, but who knows, perhaps people try to sneak up. I do not know. But, right, that's pretty much all there is to say about the Abbey. Well, they do say that at some point there was a pool of healing that could do that was hidden here in Krezk, and that this pilgrim took the pool and drank it all. But I don't know how true that is either. They say that is how he gained his powers. Perhaps that is true, perhaps it isn't. I'm just telling you what you told me, and what you asked me to tell you. And then he'll kind of drag the 5 gold to himself.
So we're kind of used to Burgermeisters being scared of going certain places, but since you mentioned him being an outsider, I noticed he is extremely tan.
He's not an outsider himself. He's descended from himself.
Well, do you happen to know where his family descends from?
I believe it was from a place called strange in pronunciation. Something Maruski, Marulisi, Sormili, Mursila. I believe it was called Mursila.
Okay. Do you happen to know anything about that place?
Roll me a history check, please.
Might I do the same?
Yes, of course. Anyone who would be interested can roll me.
Or maybe not.
18, 19. Yeah, Talmadge, you're like Mursila. I mean, like it sounds like the type of. It sounds like one of those Eastern nations, like in those names, but doesn't really ring a bell. Yeah, Honor and Varus, so you guys would know that Mursila exists on a small continent on very, very far from where you guys came from, like the South Coast and all that area. Like practically on the other side of the on the world, very deserty place on the continent of Ankara. And there's a place of hot suns, ancient magics, and they say beautiful women. Great traditions and cultures, spices, and eldritch magics are some of the things that area is famous for. Oh. Does that ever run out, or you can just like eternally cause yourself and everyone else to reroll once?
It burns my reaction.
Oh,
So as long as I have a reaction, you can reroll.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm fine with it. I'm not opposed.
Didn't help.
I'm just curious. But yeah, 10. Yeah, you think like you think that when you were young you had a fling with a traveler from there, but you're not sure. It could have been a very well disguised oak lady.
A few of them.
It seems a lot of the people there are Genasi as well. Yeah, he says, well, that's all I know. I think it was his grandmother was with a group of adventurers who came here. His grandfather really fell in love with her, and they had children. That's as far as I know. He's very calm. I know he can seem harsh, but it's not his fault. It's him and his wife. Terrible, terrible luck. Terrible what happened. But I will not speak of that. Terrible luck to speak of what happened. Pull me an insight, Talmadge.
Indeed.
With advantage.
All right.
He will absolutely speak of that if you give him some more money.
Go ahead and add more down.
I will speak of that. So, they say that the burgomaster or his wife, one of them, has incurred some manner of terrible curse.
It helps the healing.
You, my friend, cunning man. You would be a fantastic businessman as well. you are looking for a shop to run, I could always use a hand. If adventuring gets a little bit too dangerous for you, and why go adventuring at all? It is safe here, food and beds, and perhaps a wife as well. But, right, what was I saying? Yes, open it. As he begins to explain, the story will be conveyed to you next time in the Curse of Start.